are you?
Good.
Dorian, one of the greatest shots of the year for me was your face after the AFC Championship game.
Is that right there? That one right there? Yeah, that's how I was feeling. I mean, we won, not done. We had more on our mind. We were still hungry, and here we are.
What did it mean? You won the ring.
Yeah, we want the ring. We all want the ring. Absolutely.
What did you feel at that moment after the AFC game?
It was a lot of emotion. It was surreal. It was my second year in the league, and the fact that I was able to go to the AFC Championship last year and a Super Bowl this year is very uncommon, and I don't take that for granted, and I'm just very fortunate to be in this position.
What was the difference between last year and this year? What do you think?
I mean, each team is different every year. I feel like this year, you know, collectively on all three phases, special teams, offense, and defense, we're just collectively better.
And what do you think about the Sunday game? You get the ring?
That's the plan. That's the plan.
What is the best part of the 49ers? What do you think?
They play complementary football. You know, they're the best team on that side, and we're the best team on this side. So that's what football's about. Best two teams going head to head.
And are you planning some celebration or just play the game?
I am, but I don't know what I'm going to do yet. It takes planning. I don't want to rush it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Good luck, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hi, Ben.
How you doing?
We came from Hungary, and
welcome.
We've seen the team coming out, taking pictures, taking videos. What is the mood around the locker room?
A lot of excitement. We're happy to be here. It's been a great environment, great atmosphere so far, and we're looking forward to Sunday. So,
how can you overcome the emotions?
I think just treating this like any other game. Just preparing this week, staying on top of things. Try to eliminate the outside distractions, and we'll be ready to roll. So
yeah, but everybody says the same every year, treating the game as the same game as always. But it's different. A lot of media, a lot of fans. So how can you do that?
Yeah, it is different. I think you have to embrace the atmosphere. Because this is could be a once in a lifetime opportunity. So just taking everything in, but also shutting off the outside noise. Shutting off your phone.
You're not watching TV either?
I don't watch a lot of TV, to be honest. So the most TV I see during the year was me eating breakfast at the complex in front of the TV. So I don't watch a lot of TV, which is probably a good thing. So just try to eliminate whatever outside media that might be getting you off your game. So
how long have you been waiting for this moment?
Yeah, I've been dreaming about this since I was a little kid. So playing ball in the yard with my brother, my dad, my neighbors. This is something I've been looking forward to, or hoping to have the opportunity to compete in for a long time. So
are you expecting some family coming to the game?
Yeah, I have a lot of family and friends coming, so I'm excited.
Okay, good luck, man.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I like your shirt, man.
Thanks, appreciate it. Coach Andy gave it to me. Hey, just talk about your roots growing up in South Georgia, playing ball, when you start playing.
I like coaches. I like
people back in Georgia want to know how to get a guy.
My roots, man. So I was raised in Pearson, Georgia, and I moved to Coffee High around 9th grade. My grandparents thought I needed a change, and they wanted me to do something in life. They told me.
Veszi azért egyébként a hangot.
It was like, Tyreek, we're gonna move you to a bigger school, because you're a special kid. And I was like, why am I moving from all my friends? I don't want to move from my friends. I want to have fun. There's gonna come a time in your life where, you gotta be responsible. You gotta be able to take care of yourself. I never understood what they was talking about. So I moved to a different school, 9th grade, new friends. I met some tremendous guys. Still my guys to this day. I think that move really helped me. Moving to a different school, meet new people, meet new coaches. I learned a lot. I'm very thankful.
What was the original school?
Pearson, Georgia.
Pearson, okay.
And I still play Pearson to this day, man. I love Pearson, Georgia. That's still where I live at to this day. My grandparents.
Coming out, did any of the state schools want you, Georgia or Georgia Tech? I know you had to go to junior college.
So the reason I went to junior college is because I didn't have the grades. I was one of those kids that I'm never going to class. Like, I'm never going to be responsible. I wanna hang with the cool kids. I wanna do what I want to do. You know.
So it was kind of like the last chance you
yeah. So I had to go to JUCO, and it really paid off a lot. Like I was in class every day.
And that's where you got the discipline and got
yes, sir. I started liking that though. When you start getting them, coaches coming down to see you, you start liking that. You start realizing, hey, I want to do some more of that. I want to start being in class more. I want to start making more plays. So I started doing things more. I graduated from my JUCO with like a 3.5 GPA. I couldn't believe I did that. You know, so I really couldn't believe it. I really couldn't. I was like, dang, I was a kid who failed my graduation test. It was crazy. I didn't even walk. My senior year of high school, I didn't even walk on the stage. I failed my graduation test.
Tyreek, you remember the first time in your life when you realized that you are extremely fast?
No, I don't.
How old were you when you realized that you have to do something with your speed?
26.
26 years old?
Yes.
But in 2012, you've been a junior world championships in track and field. Why did you change to football?
I don't know. My family is a football family. You know, I was raised on football. Like my parents, well, my dad is like the hugest Pittsburgh fan. My mom is like the hugest Peyton Manning fan, and I was like the Minnesota Vikings in my household. So like we was all spread it out, you know. So my favorite player was Randy Moss and Deion Sanders. I was like, man, I want to be fast just like those guys. Like I want to make plays just like those guys, you know. So I grew up loving football. I love the game. Like I love the way that the crowd went crazy every time that they broke out. I love the way that those guys showboated on the way to the end zone. I love the way those guys danced in the end zone. So I said I wanted to do that. Like I feel like in track, like you can do that, but like the crowd isn't as electric. Like I want the crowd to be electric all game.
Yeah, but the sprinter doesn't have to be tackled. It's more safe.
I don't mind being tackled, man. I played middle linebacker though. You ain't know that? You ain't know I played middle linebacker?
No, I didn't.
I played middle linebacker in middle school. I averaged like 10 tackles a game.
So why did you change to wide receiver?
I was too small. I was too short. Like I couldn't see over the line. Like once I got like the 10th grade, I couldn't see over the line no more. So they moved me.
You have joined the Chiefs, you have played in 2 AFC championship games, and now you're preparing for the Super Bowl. Did you expect such a big successes?
Oh, most definitely. You know, when I took my visit to Kansas City, this is what they talked about. This is what they preached. And I believed in them, and they believed in me to, you know, be a part of this. So it's just something, you know, nobody in that building had, you know, any doubt about it. And honestly, you know, when that trade happened, you know, them getting, you know, Smith out of there and bringing Pat up, I didn't really know, you know, too much about, you know, Pat. You know, I'm from San Diego. I know about, you know, Smith. You know, he's from San Diego. So it was like it caught me off guard, and I'm just like, wow, I don't know what we're doing here. But you know, at the end of the day, you know, you can see the decision they made and what they saw every day in Pat. You know, something I didn't see being, you know, not being here, and it's turned out to be something special.
You can run the football and catch the football. Which is your preference?
Both. I'd rather do both. That means more opportunities for me.
Thank you. Let's fly back in time to the Texans game. You've been down 24 points. What were your feelings?
To be honest, I was cool on the sideline. It was a long game, and like on the defensive mindset, like I just knew we can get our offense the ball, keep getting opportunities to get to going, and once they got to going, we scored 28 points in like 8 minutes. So that showed the type of firepower we have as an offense. Like defense, if we get stops and keep giving them the ball and keep giving them opportunities, we got a great shot at winning football games, and that's all you want as a defensive player.
Yeah, but you have to be very tough mentally to come back from 24 points.
You got to be tough mentally, period, to play this game. So, and like for us, it was a little stressful, you know. We being down early in the game like that, and this divisional round, and you want to play good, and everybody's watching you play. So, like I said, everybody was cool, calm, and collective, and everybody just went out there and did their jobs, and we got the offensive ball, and we went out there and made plays.
How are you preparing for the 49ers running game?
Play good sound defense, lift weights, be strong, and get ready to run around the field and make plays.
But Coach Reed said that don't sleep on Jimmy Garoppolo. Do you agree?
Heck no, he's one of the highest paid ever in the game of football. I'm never going to sleep on a guy like that. Like, I'm always respect my opponent. So, like, you can never, like, even though he went 6 for 8 last game, that doesn't mean nothing. Like, it's football. They took advantage of the running game last week. So you don't know if it's going to be like that this week. So, he's a very good quarterback, and that's why they paid him more than they paid him.
Eric, I've read that you've been a very good basketball player in high school and college. Why did you choose football then?
Oh man, I definitely loved both sports. I wanted to play both at a high level, but when it came down to it, you know, I chose football. I felt like it was the best decision for my life to try to pursue and play at the highest level. And I was been fortunate enough to make it to the NFL, and you know, now I'm in the Super Bowl, and you know, things are going pretty well. So I think I made a good decision.
So you're not disappointed?
Oh no, I mean, I love basketball, always will, but you know, I'm not going to regret anything in life. I feel like I made a good decision to focus on football and see where this could take me.
You have recorded 10 sacks this season, one more than the previous 4 seasons combined. Did you change anything?
I really didn't change anything. I just honed in on what I've been doing and made it more precise. The off season, I was training with my pass rush trainer, Mark Hall, and I hired him even in season. So we do extra work throughout the week, like 4 times a week, film, hand work, and then also, you know, coming in, playing with these great players, and being coached by Coach Kasirik, and him putting me in a position to be successful, and him believing in me and instilling confidence in me to go out there and get my job done at a high level. And so everything has just kind of all come together. And you know, my family's been supporting me, my fiance through thick and thin, and adversity, and you know, so I just feel blessed and a lot of blessings. So gotta thank God for that.
How can you prepare for a quarterback like Patrick Mahomes?
Preparing for him how we've been prepared all year. You know, getting after him, trying to make him uncomfortable, and coming up with a good game plan to be successful out there.
Thank you. You've been in the Super Bowl early in your career, and now you're back. Do you see the game's importance differently 7 years older?
No, I mean, it's just very fortunate to be here. You know, I understand how hard it is to get to this moment, all the hard work that goes into it. You know, I thought that run that we were going on in 2011, 12, 13, I thought that at that point, I thought that was going to continue on for, you know, a long time. And then, you know, just how fast that kind of goes away. And then building it back up, and, you know, just the roster turnover, a lot of close friends, you know, coaching staffs, everybody leaving. So just to be able to be back here in this moment is really special for me. But it's still, you know, it's the game on Sunday, and a lot of preparation and hard work goes into it.
Last year,
oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Last year you have finished 4-12, and now 13-3. What was the biggest difference?
Well, I think it was just a culmination of a lot of things. You know, getting a lot of guys in here in this locker room, building. I mean, it wasn't just a one year switch. You know, it's been kind of building for about 2-3 years since Kyle got here with John, and just the kind of foundation that they brought in, with the players that they brought in every single day. You know, it was almost a complete roster turnover since when they got here in 2017. And I think that foundation of just good guys that just wanted to continue to work, you know, going through that 4-12 season was huge for us, because I think it built a lot of character, and we understood what we had, because guys weren't pointing the fingers being like, hey, you're the reason why we're losing. It's just like, hey, what can we do to get better every single day? And we had the big game, you know, I think last year against Seattle was huge for us, just for our confidence. Just, you know, we can hang with the top in the division. We just got to play and execute a little bit better. And the margin of, you know, being 4-12 and 13-3 is not great. It's just, you know, coming together, believing. And then, you know, we got healthy. We brought in some really, really good players. We got Bosa, we got D4, Quan, and a lot of guys on defense. You know, bring Emmanuel Sanders in here on the trade deadline. So we got a lot of talented players coupled with a really good roster, and I think that's what happened.
What's your level of
passionate about the game enough?
Jimmy, your defensive coordinator was referring to the Chiefs wide receivers as the Olympic relay team. Are they really faster than the other wide receivers in other teams?
I wouldn't say they're faster. We have Marquise Goodwin. He's pretty fast. He might be the fast one. He won the competition for $1 million. But at the same time, I feel like he's saying as a group, as a whole. You know, they got a lot of fast guys over there, more than just Tyreek Hill. And like everybody that's catching the ball is probably like a 4.4 and what faster. So, you know, that's amazing to have guys that can run like that over there.
How can you prepare for a guy like Patrick Mahomes? Because you don't know if he's passing the ball or running, like in the championship game.
I tell you one thing, I'd rather him run than pass. That'd be cool because it means he get to take some hits. So, but at the same time, I feel like he's going to pass, and I don't feel like he's looking to run. I feel like he'll run this game because it's a lot on the line. You know, it's a ring, it's a trophy on the line. But at the same time, like I don't think he want to take too many hits. He's similar to Aaron Rodgers to me, and I hate to like just keep saying he's similar to anybody because I want to just say he's his own man. You know, he's great, and I don't want to throw somebody else's name to compare him to take off some of the great stuff that he's done so far. But that's who I feel like he's most similar to in the league.
You're playing with your teammates every day in the trainings. What is the biggest strength of your defense? What do you think?
Just being able to like run to the ball. I feel like when the ball is out, I feel like it's a lot of people running to the ball. Like you'll even see like if the ball 30 yards or 40 yards down the field, you'll see the D-line in the picture trying to make a tackle. If you break a tackle, you'll see somebody in the D-line close to making that tackle.
Thank you very much.
Likes to play practice squad.
A lot of people talk about stopping the run against the 49ers, but they also use a lot of play action and get big plays off of it. How do you find the balance between the two?
Well, obviously it's going to be a great challenge for us to, try to get as many, people in the box as we can to, try to limit their run game. They do so many different things. You got to be cautious as well, like you mentioned. They got a lot of guys on the outside that can, stretch the field, and a lot of those guys are good after the catch. So, we got to play tight coverage, right? I think we got to trust what we see, but our eyes have to be right. But I think it's going to take all 11 guys, right, that's on the defense to kind of, commit to stopping the run, and then, the guys on the back end being mindful that. They do have a good quarterback and guys on the outside that can, get it done.
You mentioned you got to trust what you see, but they also use a lot of pre-snap motions and shifts the most in the league. What sort of challenge does that present to you?
I think Kyle Shanahan, the guy is just an offensive genius in a sense. He got a lot of different guys that can play different, roles. He moved a lot of those guys around. I think, obviously number 44. It's kind of hard to say his last name sometimes, but
can you spell it?
No. But he's a great football player. And I think George Kittle, obviously, and Deebo Samuel. I think all those guys, man, and all the shifts and motions that they do. It kind of reminds me of my offense, right? Practicing against those guys, and you line up every snap, and you realize that hey, they got 4 or 5 guys that can blow the top off our defense. So I think it's going to take an 11-man commitment, to really try to stop these guys Sunday.
And you also mentioned yards after catch, and how difficult is it to focus on the fundamentals of tackling after 20 weeks of playing?
Well, I feel like, as the season went on, we became a more, physical defense, a more aggressive defense. We made some big tackles, and I feel like we didn't make those plays earlier in the year, right? I could remember the Derrick Henry run from Tennessee, and just all the plays that we didn't make, I feel like we've been making those plays.
What changed?
I think it's really the coaching staff, right? Staying on us, encouraging us, right? Helping us believe that, we can be a pretty good defense if we really commit to it. And I felt like that's what we did. And then we kind of hit a stretch there where we were pretty hot, right? We were playing well together. A lot of guys came back from injuries, and we felt confident, right? We felt like we could go out there and play fast. And I think anytime you're able to create turnovers, right? It gives your defense some confidence.
I'm sure you saw the feud between Richard Sherman and Darrelle Revis last week about playing man and zone. How do you see the differences in those, and what do they bring to the table? Zone cornerback versus a man cornerback. What are the differences, and what's your opinion on that?
Yeah, you know, I was very fortunate, right, to you know, play with Patrick Peterson, and you know, I watched him man up, you know, each and every Sunday, week after week, and you know, you got a great amount of respect for guys like that. I think, in my opinion, Richard Sherman, you know, people should give him that same respect. You know, I feel like he plays enough man coverage, right? Obviously, he's one of the best zone corners of my generation, our generation, and he's just so ball aware. And you know, I think ultimately you can't take that away from him. And then on top of that, you know, every time it was a big-time game, a big-time opponent, he always showed up, no matter if it was Aaron Rodgers, Peyton Manning. I think people should give him, you know, the proper respect. I don't think they should, you know, argue in a sense that he plays zone or man. I think it's all about the production at the end of the day.
And finally, you've had some slow starts in the first 2 games in the postseason. I think we can agree on that. How do you avoid doing that this Sunday?
I think really, you know, we've been trying to commit really since last week to start practice faster. To, you know, everybody get out here 10 minutes early, right? Try to get in that mindset. And I think the guys have been buying into that. You know, obviously, you know, we've been very fortunate to play home. And, you know, I think playing home gives you a lot of advantages, even when you're down by 3 scores. You know, I think the fans can kind of get back into it and, you know, boost your morale. But, yeah.
Thanks, appreciate it. What are the biggest challenges of facing George Kittle, and what do you see? How do you see similarities between him and Kelsey?
Yeah, Kittle presents a challenge from a physical, athletic standpoint. He's strong, he's fast, and he's effective in the pass game as well as in the run game. He can block. Yeah, I would say you know, Kittle and Kelsey. I don't know, they're similar type players, but they're both really good at what they do. And so it's good to face, you know, Kelsey when we've had a chance to, you know, in training camp and things like that, to face an elite tight end.
The 49ers gained the most yards after the catch. How difficult is it to focus on tackling and fundamentals for 20 straight weeks? And don't you get tired a little bit about focusing on the fundamentals at this stage?
No, if anything, you try and go back and you try and sharpen up some of those fundamentals when you have time. We've had some extra time, and that's been a point of focus that we've had is to get them down after they catch it. If they catch it, to get them down, right?
And you also had some slow starts in the postseason so far. How do you avoid doing that this Sunday?
Yeah, we've talked about we want to come out and start fast, and you know, it's just going to come down to, you know, matching your emotions with your preparation, right? You know, if you're too emotional, too passionate, too high on the game, you know, your assignments and things like that might not be in check, right? So try and come in there, focus, but also you know, match that with you know, your intensity.
Thanks. Good luck.
Watch out.
Sport TV. You've had some slow starts so far in the postseason. How do you avoid doing that this Sunday?
Trust in the process. You know, coming out and knowing the first 15 really well, executing, all 11 of us playing at a high level. I think a focus. You know, I think it's always hard to pinpoint exactly why, but I think everybody on the same page and all 11 of us doing our jobs is going to be a good way to start fast.
Patrick's been extending plays all postseason and basically all of his career. How do you maintain the blocks, and how do you know how difficult it is to block longer than you might do it for other quarterbacks?
You just got to be in better shape as an offensive lineman, and kind of keep your eye on the ball when you can once he starts rolling out. Because I mean, I thought last week he might have stepped out of bounds on that touchdown run, and he was still going. So I was chasing him down from 10 yards back. But yeah, I think just kind of keeping your eye on the ball and consistently running.
That's also what I wanted to ask. That how do you know when to basically cross the line of scrimmage? When can you go block? You don't have eyes in the back of your head. So how difficult it is to know that, okay, now it's time for a QB run and he's on his way.
Yeah, so that's kind of like
and to not get a penalty.
Yeah, so that's kind of like a fine line. You know, we talk about that in our room, and you know, some refs are looking for it, some aren't, and I think that was like an emphasis at the beginning of the year was offensive linemen downfield.
I suppose mainly for the RPOs, because of the RPOs.
Yeah, so we have some plays where we try, you know, we're very conscious of being downfield. The linebackers or second level can kind of tell us though if the ball is coming, if they come to us, you know, then we can go. But yeah, it's kind of a fine line though. But them stepping up to us will give us a good hint on whether or not we can get downfield.
The 49ers like to put their edge defenders inside on third downs and have those packages. How difficult it is to prepare basically for 8 different defenders because they can line up anyone inside?
Yeah, it's very difficult. They're all good pass rushers. Again, you know, all 5 of us as an offensive line working together, knowing looks, certain looks that we get. You know, this is what we might get. This could be this. This could be that. I think all 5 of us, if we're working together and we're all on the same page, that can really help us with that.
And you mentioned working together, being on the same page. How difficult was it to get through all the injuries that you had along the offensive line, and how difficult it is to maintain the communication when you have different guys coming in and out?
It can be extremely difficult, but you know, I got to give credit to the coaches because, you know, they do a great job of preparing us every week, whether a guy's been here a month or 4 years. Everybody talks the same way, we see things the same way, and it is hard, but you know, the coaches and then just the kind of culture we have here, we embrace it, we teach guys, this is what we do, and you know, next man up. This is the guy before you. This is how he's going to do it. We need you to do it this way.
Thanks, appreciate it. Good luck. Thank you. Hey, Mitch, nice to finally meet you.
Yeah, you too.
John Costco says hi.
Okay.
He made me promise to tell you that.
Does he make any of those Hungarian dishes for you? Or?
No food questions now. Patrick has one of the deepest dropbacks in the entire NFL. How difficult and how tough is that on you guys, especially for you two on the edge?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing with the quarterback's drop back is just consistency with it. You know, a guy can be 12 yards deep, he can be 6 yards deep. If you know which spot he's going to be in, you know, you're able to.
You're actually fine with a deep drop back if he's consistently that deep?
Yeah, I mean, I think you see that in terms of quarterbacks to be consistent with it. I mean, you look back at, you know, Baltimore a few years ago with Flacco. I mean, he tended to drop back to, you know, 11, 12 yards. And, you know, as a tackle, I mean, he took that same drop every time. And so those tackles obviously protected really well for him. So I think, you know, kind of in anything, consistency is the most important part. And as a tackle, you know on every play where the guy's supposed to be. And so, you know, if it calls for him to be at 8 yards and he's at 12 yards, you're probably going to get beat. And if it calls for him to be at a deeper spot and he's more shallow, you're probably going to overset and get beat inside. And so just knowing, you know, where that guy's supposed to be on every particular play, that's the most important aspect of it.
I remember you told me in the summer how good Patrick is and how amazing that is. When did you first know that you have something special?
Well, we knew, I mean, immediately just seeing what he could do in practice. You know, you're always a little skeptical whether it translates to a game. You know, in practice there's no repercussions for interceptions or bad throws or, you know, kind of all the crazy stuff he does. You know, I think it might have been in his first preseason he was playing, kind of rolled out to the right, threw a ball like 60 yards off his back foot, you know, perfect throw. I think it might have been to DeMarcus, but you know, it was like, all right, well, that worked. You know, I guess this is going to work in game situations. So I think seeing it, you know, we knew immediately the arm and what he could do. Seeing it in game action and knowing that, you know, hey, this is real, it's going to translate. You know, I think you guys had an article that, you know, he's really cut back on kind of the negative throws and, you know, being able to do the magical stuff he does and also not have the turnovers, it's awesome.
Most offensive linemen say that they prefer run blocking to pass protection, and you run the most RPOs in the game. So, can you say that offensive linemen are fans of RPOs?
If you're on the backside, I think it's one of the least stressful blocks in the NFL. You know, you're kind of blocking the intermediary between the two. Yeah, I mean, I think our offense, you know, like you said, the RPOs, it's awesome. I mean, people tend to look at the rush numbers at the end of the game and they only see 12 or whatever, but that doesn't mean we called 12 runs. We could have called 25 runs. It's just 13 times the throw was better. A lot of the time when he's throwing, it's pretty high efficiency, and so I think our kind of run efficiency stuff is a lot different than what people look at, because they only look at pure rushes and yardage, and we're looking at did he take the advantage throw? Did he take what the defense was giving him? So I think we got a pretty successful offense, and and coach knows how to scheme it up.
You played for Kyle Shanahan in Cleveland. What sort of evolution have you seen from his offense over the years? And also, is there anything you told or can tell the defense about his scheme?
Yeah, I mean, there's not much to tell. It's, I mean, like 6 years removed from it now. Obviously, with the fullback they have, I mean, that opens up so much with them. We had a couple pretty good tight ends, but we didn't have a George Kittle. The receivers they've got, the speed they have. I mean, everyone is just so fast at every position. They have 2 first-round tackles. We only had a first and a second-round tackle in Cleveland. So they're able to do some good things on the edge there. So it's awesome to watch. I mean, having played for him, it was a lot of fun. I love playing for him, and always watched him. And then, got to be jealous of my buddy Alex in Atlanta, all the stuff they were able to do. So it's really cool to see, what he's been doing and pushing the boundary of, the motions and the shifts and the cutbacks, and really just playing games with defenses.
And finally, you've had some slow starts so far in the postseason. What can you do to avoid that this Sunday?
I mean, there's no magic formula. You would have thought after the Houston game we would have, tried to do something to not do that again. And obviously we didn't have quite as slow of a start, but it was a little slow. I think it's just execution, and it sounds simple and cliche, but it's not like coach was calling any different plays to score us the points. It just comes down to executing it.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Good luck.
Yeah, thank you.
We can see you're enjoying your time.
Oh yeah, I'm just having fun, man. Just enjoying it. That's all. Just gotta enjoy it. That's it.
Yeah, that's what football is about, and of course, as a rookie, you are going to play in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, first time going to the Super Bowl. I don't think you can ask nothing better than that.
Tyreek Hill has a great nickname, Cheetah. Do you have one?
Yeah, I mean, they call me the Jet, so I don't know. That's kind of stuck with me.
Okay. How did you build into the offense? How do you see this season?
I think I came in good. I think I fitted in very well. Coach, started trusting me more and more after I got the playbook now. So I'm just here to make plays, and whatever my number calls, take advantage of it.
How can you be so fast? Tell me.
I guess it's a gift God gave me, man, and I'm not complaining. I just use it,
What do you like better, receiving the ball or the kickoff returns or punt returns?
Oh, that's hard. I don't know, man. It's kind of equal out all of my playing field. I'm just happy to be out there to be on the field. So I mean, it's all equal out. At the same time, I'm getting the ball in my hands, so I just like when the ball in my hands.
You've become selected to the Pro Bowl, but you couldn't play. I guess you're not disappointed.
No, because I'm in the Super Bowl, so that's all that matters.
So, what is the biggest strength of the San Francisco defense? What do you think?
The biggest what?
The biggest strength of the 49ers defense.
I mean, they got everything. They got a front four. They got a good back end. They got some linebackers that get to the ball. I think they got a complete defense, actually. Probably one of the best we're going to go against this year. So it's going to be a great challenge for us to go against them. So I'm looking forward to it.
Do you prepare if you meet Richard Sherman on the field?
Man, I'm ready to go against him. I think it'd be fun to go against somebody you once looked up to. So especially on the defensive side. So we're gonna see. It's gonna be fun to go against them.
Thank you, Mikal.
What did the arrival of Terrell Suggs mean to your defense, and what has he told you guys about playing on this stage?
It meant a lot. I feel like he's taught us a lot just being a vet. In the film room, he'll point out different things that you never really think about, and he's like, oh yeah, like I've been doing this for 17 years. That's something I look at all the time. So he's definitely taught me a lot just with the time he's been here, and about the game, he said it's one of the biggest stages of our life, so we got to soak it in, but be able to not let all the outside noise affect us and just leave it all out.
Usually if an edge defender goes against a tight end, that's a mismatch, but it might not be the case in this game. Do you prepare any different knowing that Kittle will be there both in the run game and in pass protection?
He's a good blocker. He doesn't give up. he puts a lot of effort into his blocks, his routes, everything he does. So I'm a high effort dude too. So it's just going to be effort on effort.
And they use a lot of play action. What are the challenges of transitioning from reacting to the play action and then moving on to pass rush?
Yeah, so that works very well for them because they do like outside zone runs and like then they'll get you with like some counters or like gap runs off of that, making you run sideways and stuff. So that play action pass is going to be something we feel out. You have to feel out, and like it's something we've been working on.
You've had some slow starts so far in the postseason. How do you avoid doing that this Sunday?
Just by being great. That's what Coach wants us to do, and like he tells us to do that every week. You know, and honestly, like hopefully we start off well, but I don't care how we start off; it's how we finish. You know.
Thanks, appreciate it. Good luck.
Thank you.
Hi, Bashad. You've been a new addition to this defense. What were your expectations before the season?
Man, exactly what we're doing. You know what I mean? Like when I saw the guys that they brought in, you know what I mean? Like the things that they did, and we finally got together in the OTAs, man. You can see it, you can feel it. Like the radiance was crazy. The energy, the vibes. Like I just knew like that this team was special. And when you got a guy like Patrick Mahomes, like anything can happen. But when you put guys like Tyrann Mathieu, Chris Jones, Frank Clark, Mooney, Charvarius Ward, Kendall Fuller, Bashard Breeland together on the defense, you know what I mean? Like that energy is remarkable as well, and we go in every day to really bring the same energy and set the tone from the day one when we started to now.
There were a lot of changes. There were a lot of changes on the defensive side. New coaches, new players. How could you click together so fast?
Man, when you bring guys in, they really are motivated to win, and it's the sky's the limit because they're gonna bring guys along with them, and when everybody gelling together, you know what I mean? It's special and it's rare. But this team really like breathes, live, and fight for each other. You know what I mean? We're gonna go to war with each other no matter what.
You're practicing against the offense every day. What is the biggest strength of the Chiefs' offense?
Speed. Man, you got receivers that can run anywhere on the field at any amount of time. You got a quarterback who got the arm strength, who can throw it anywhere. He can run and throw it across his body any type of way accurately. So you got to really hone in on their guys, and there's not one guy that you can really double because we got a lot of guys that really can take it the distance.
And how about the 49ers? Because they are running the ball very effectively. How many passing game are you expecting on Sunday?
I mean, I expect them to pass it more than everybody think. Just because of they run it so well. That's their DNA. They know they can do that anytime. I mean, I feel like in these Super Bowl games, people want to do stuff that people never seen. You want to get the wows and the woos. So they're gonna come out and really do what they're gonna do. They're gonna take their shots early and often.
Thank you very much, Bashad.
I was able to beat out the other ones.
Trust me, this is exactly how I like it.
Hi, we're from the Hungarian Sport TV.
Nice.
So at BYU we're playing more of an overhang defender. So I think we can sort of say that you're playing a different position overall. Could you talk a little bit about the transition and how difficult it was and how you could achieve that so quickly?
Yeah, I mean, it was for sure a transition, you know, going from playing outside to playing middle, things that I'm reading, keying from behind the line of scrimmage opposed to being outside and kind of being on the outside looking in. I think that was probably the biggest part, and kind of the physicality inside was probably a little different too, but I had great coaches and mentors around me since the day I walked onto this team. So, you know, guys like Coach Ryans and Coach Sala and other veterans on the team, they've helped me really well.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think one of the toughest plays to defend as a linebacker, especially in cover 3, is that over route after play action, when they go behind you and between the DBs. What are your keys? And I've seen you defend it pretty well several times. What are your keys to defending that big play after play action?
I think it's just a matter of kind of anticipating what the offense might try and give you. You know, the longer The longer you do this, the more you kind of see certain things repeat within offenses. You know, and so if I can get a jump on something to be able to react a little faster, that's what I try and get.
And the Chiefs have run the most RPOs this season. What sort of challenge does it give you and the other linebackers?
I mean, it gives us a pretty big challenge, honestly. You know, just the fact that they can run or pass out of any formation. You know, they're going to try and use a lot of movement pre and post snap to try and get our eyes moving in different places. So we're going to have to make sure we're keying the right things and on top of our job.
Mahomes has been extending plays a lot this postseason and also moving past the line of scrimmage. How disciplined do you have to be to not attack him before he crosses that line of scrimmage?
I think that just kind of goes with any you know, mobile quarterback. You want to make sure that they do cross the line of scrimmage before you take off to go get them, because you know, they can complete a long pass behind you if you're not disciplined.
And they're also gaining a lot of yards after the catch. How difficult is it to still focus on the fundamentals after 20 straight weeks?
Hey, if you love the game,
oh
sure, yeah. I mean, I think a lot. I mean, everybody on this team loves the game, right? So I don't think it's an issue. You know, doing the little things right day in and day out.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Yeah,
you had the best view of Drake.
Hungarian Sport TV. So the Chiefs do a lot of screen passes, especially these delayed screens. What challenge does it give you as well on the defensive line, not just on the line for the linebackers?
Oh, it's a lot of challenges, you know, with the quick game, the screen game. It's going to take all of us, you know, flying around, playing fast. You know, whether that's the front or the back end, to whoever has the ball, because they have a lot of offensive weapons getting there and bringing them down.
They also have a lot of jet motions and also jet sweeps where they leave the edge defender unblocked, which would be you there. What are your keys and what are the challenges when you see like one of their fastest players coming across on the backfield?
Oh, if you got an opportunity, try to, you know, hit them. You know, they have a lot of design plays to get their guys in open space with speed, and but we're putting together a great game plan that we're going to try to execute to the best of our ability and go out there and play hard.
And finally, Mahomes has been extending plays a lot this postseason, so people are saying that you have to contain him, which usually means that don't let him go around the edge, but he's been also escaping the pocket in the B gap as well, which gives you like a two-way challenge. Could you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, we know he's elusive. We know you know, the challenges with that of him being able to elude the rush and get the ball down the field, but that's not going to take our aggression away. We're going to continue to rush like we've been rushing all year and get to him the best we can.
Thanks, appreciate it.
This is your second year in the NFL.
Yep.
The first one is 4-12.
Yep.
Now 13-3, and you're going to the Super Bowl. What are your feelings about this?
I feel great about it. You know, last year was tough with being 4-12, but it was also a time that we knew that we weren't in a bad position. Even though the record was bad, we felt like we were close and we could have some opportunities to win games coming down the stretch. And the pieces that we put into place this season kind of came to fruition by the record that we have now. We kind of showed this year how close we were last year, that we just needed a couple more tweaks here and there, and it's kind of turned into this great thing that we're sitting here at the Super Bowl. So it's a crazy feeling. It's an awesome feeling. I mean, I consider myself, I mean, obviously so lucky. I'm only in my second year and I'm at the Super Bowl for the first time, and I know guys that have played 15, 16 years that have never even sniffed it, and that's something to be cherished and something to be very, very proud of. But you got to make your most of the opportunity that's in front of us this Sunday and make sure I go one for one and not 0-1.
Is it true that Matt Ryan is your cousin?
He is. Yep. Yeah, he's my older cousin. He's my older cousin. Yep.
Did he give you any advice about the Super Bowl?
Yeah, he did. Obviously, we play very different positions, so it's more logistical stuff, like how to take care of certain situations, like where, how tickets are being given out, or how to focus this week, or where to put my mind at certain times. And Matt's always done that for me my entire life. It didn't just take the Super Bowl for Matt to do that. He's been doing that since I was a 10-year-old kid. So him and his dad and his brothers have been a huge part of my family, obviously, but my personal career, because they kind of laid the blueprint for me, and it's been pretty cool.
You've been running the football very effectively all season long. How did you build up this power football?
One, I think it starts with a great scheme from our head coach and Mike McDaniel and Mike LaFleur and the guys that scheme it up for us. And we have 11 guys that really take the opportunities to love running the football. We got skill guys that take pride in getting their head in and cracking on linebackers and getting downfield and accounting for middle third safeties. And
And obviously the offensive line, it's our job. It's always in our job description to be doing that. But we have, you know, the coolest thing about it for me is we got a tight end that set the record last year and with 1,500 yards in a single season, that takes more pride in blocking for the run than he does catching footballs. We got a fullback that does whatever he's asked to do. We have receivers that are that can make huge plays in the pass game, but some of their most impactful stuff has been in the run game this year for sure.
Why do you think people have such a tough...
Sport TV, a lot of people say that big runs become great runs when wide receivers chip in with blocking, and you guys seem to do that. Could you talk a little bit about your mentality and how you take pride in blocking downfield?
I mean, honestly, the running backs make blocks for us whenever we're out there running routes, so I just think it's only right to return the favor.
And the last week everyone's been talking about your running game. Does it put a chip on your shoulder when it comes to the passing game?
Say that again?
Everyone's been talking about your running game all week long. Does it put a chip on your shoulder and the other receiver's shoulder that no one is really talking about your passing game?
No, I mean, these past 2 games to get here, it's kind of been a mindset, if it's broke, don't fix it. But as you can see, as you go down the line of all the games we done played, we've not always been a running team. It's whatever it takes to win the game.
And you guys lead the league in yards after catch. How much focus do you put on that, or have you put on that this season?
I don't even think it's a focus. I just think it's a mindset of this team.
And where does it come from? From the coaches?
I think it really comes from the players, because I don't think you can teach that.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Comparisons between you and Travis Kelce. What do you think is the reason? Your playing style, your personality, or what's the main reason?
That people compare us? You know, I think the biggest reason is, you know, we're both decent tight ends, I guess. You know, I think we're similar in the regards to, you know, we both have very outgoing personalities. We both, you know, definitely love the game. We're not shy about that. We're not shy to share that. You know, people like comparing things. It's whatever. It's just something you kind of take, and all we do every single weekend, week out, is we just go out there and we play our best football.
Who's the more crazy guy?
Oh wow, he calls me a maniac, so I'll take that one. I think I'm kind of a psychopath.
What was the craziest thing you've ever done in your life?
Wow. Well, I play professional football, which is pretty wild. I get hit by large men every single day. It was just crazy.
Maybe the play against the New Orleans.
Oh wow. Yeah, that was pretty wild. I would say that. Yeah, that was a fun play for me.
How can you prepare for such a play? I mean, 3 people are hanging over you and you're still running.
I just knew I had to get as close as I could for a field goal so we could win the game. And mindset is to not get tackled, don't go out of bounds. We had a timeout left, and go win the game. That's all I was trying to do.
I can see that you're loving Batman.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite Joker?
Oh, wow. The one I have is Heath Ledger, so I'm going to go with that one. Otherwise, I would have gotten a different one. Yeah, Mark Hamill does a great job on the cartoon one, though. I still watch those.
I've seen you acting like Joker. Is it possible?
Be careful there, man. I mean, the Joker tattoo for me, honestly, it's kind of my switch. It's what I try to channel as an energy when I'm playing football. The chaos that he brought, just that mindset. You know, I think I have a little bit more control than that, but you got to play with a little bit of chaos when you're out there playing football, because it is a crazy sport. And so that's kind of my mindset. He's kind of the switch I flip whenever I'm out there making a play.
Thank you very much.
Good to hear. Good. All right.
Hey Russ, you're from the Hungarian Sport TV.
Okay.
So, while not many of your players have Super Bowl experience, what does it mean that you, as a player, and Kyle, as a coach, has been to a Super Bowl? Have you got any advantage from that?
Yeah, win the game, man. You know, so. No, I think the main thing is just the preparation that goes into the week. You know, there's so many distractions and so many media obligations and so many different things that take away from football. And just trying to keep the focus on football and the preparation right there on football to make sure when you go out there on Sunday you're able to play fast and physical and not have to think about, oh, what's my play again? What's my assignment? Just, you know, really hone into that stuff and make sure on Sunday you can go play fast.
People say that good runs become great runs when wide receivers help with blocking, and your guys seem to do a pretty good job with that. How do you help them to get that mentality, and how do you help them to take pride in that?
I think a lot of it has to do with the technique that we use and making sure that, you know, we're seeing the coverage the right way and the leverage that he has, and then, you know, really staying square with our defenders and, you know, it's something that we talk about quite a bit in our room, and you know, and then you gotta have the guys that are willing to do it, and we have a bunch of guys that are willing to do it, and they take a lot of pride in it, and in our whole room, you know, we all keep each other accountable with that, and you know, if you miss a block, like, guys are gonna come down on you, and you know, it's cool to be a part of, and cool to see, you know, guys really take a pride in something that's kind of become a lost art.
And your guys also lead the league in yards after catch. How can you achieve that? Where does that come from, really?
Good players. I mean, no, I think, you know, we always talk about, you know, just keep on running, right? Like, as soon as you stop your feet, that's when you start getting in trouble. So, you know, stick your foot in the ground and make one cut and go, and just run to space. You know, you start sitting there making all these moves and doing it, like the posse's coming. So, main thing is, you know, when you catch a ball, stick your foot in the ground, run to space. There's space over there, okay, run to it.
You mentioned good players. How much did the acquisition of Emmanuel Sanders help this season?
Oh, it's been huge. You know, I played with Emmanuel when I was in Denver, and you know, I knew we were getting a dog. I knew we were getting a guy that is a pro and is going to bring it every single day, and every single play he's out there, he's going to give everything he has, and play at a high level. So, you know, I was ecstatic when we got him.
Thanks, appreciate it. Good luck.
Got it.
Thanks. What's this week like for you? Was it easy to, or was it possible to forget there's an actual game on Sunday, or did you always have the game on your mind?
No, I always had the game on mind. The reason that we're here is to play a football game. I mean, that's the main reason. Obviously, we're going to enjoy it. We're going to have fun. That's just who we are. I mean, we do that every time we step on the field. But we understand that the one goal is to go out there and win a football game.
You won the MVP in your first year as a starter. You're in the Super Bowl in your second year. How do you appreciate it and not take it for granted?
Yeah, I think you understand that you don't get these opportunities all the time. I mean, you have to go out there and really take advantage of it. I'm with a great group of guys that I want to go out there and execute and have fun and win games with. And so we understand that it's a lot happening, but we're enjoying every minute of it and having fun doing it.
What's the best advice about just motivation? Was it possible to forget there's an actual game being played on Sunday?
No, not at all. We know we came down here to play a game, not to have fun, not to be on vacation. I mean, so we've been real focused. We've been locked in, keyed in on all the X's and O's of the game. So we've been pretty locked in since we've been in Miami.
You've played 244 snaps in your first season, and this year, not sure if you knew, but you played the second most snaps among cornerbacks in the league. What was this journey been like, and how has this season gone for you?
The season, it was up and down season. I started off kind of slow, but throughout I got a whole lot better. I contributed to like my off-season training. Like, I don't get tired anymore in the game, so it's just been a growing process for me. Like, learn how to become a professional, learn how to take care of my body, and the coaches believing in me.
With the way that the 49ers are getting big runs and getting into the second level, how important is tackling in this game for you as well as defensive backs?
I feel like all our cornerbacks are great tacklers, all our DBs are great tacklers. I mean, we got a great defensive line, great linebackers, so we know that's like what we got to do. Like, we got to stop the run. Like, that's our number one goal going into this game, stopping the run and making them pass the ball a little bit more.
Everyone's talking about stopping the run. You just mentioned it, but they're also really good with play action. How do you balance the two?
I mean, that comes with stopping the run. Like, if we can go out there and get an early lead, get a 3 and out on the first drive, and get the ball in Patrick Mahomes' hands, and like him get us a touchdown, get us a lead. Like, they can't run the ball all game if they're behind. So we just got to go out there and get early stops and help our offense get an early lead, and they had to throw the ball at that time.
You mentioned the early lead, but you started slow against Tennessee and Houston. How do you avoid doing that this Sunday?
Yeah, that's been our main focus. Like, getting a fast start. Like, we don't want them to get a touchdown. Like, our main focus is getting a 3 and out on the first drive that they get the ball. We don't want them to score on the first time they get the ball. We want our offense to play with a lead instead of us playing from behind. Because playing from behind, like, it hurts your heart. Like, it's kind of nerve-wracking, especially in the Super Bowl and the playoffs. So we want to play with a lead this game instead of playing from behind.
Thanks, appreciate it. Good luck. Marcus, I promise I won't call you Russia this time.
No, it's cool. It's cool. How you doing?
Good. No rooster testicles this time either.
All right, cool. All right, we're good.
What was this week like for you, and is it possible to actually forget that there's an actual game on Sunday, or did you always have that on your mind?
No, man, that's the main goal. I will never forget that, man. I'm always trying to win the game. We're here to win the game. This is just extra stuff right now, yeah.
Patrick's been extending plays for a long time now. How much of a focus is on the scramble when you practice?
Oh man, it could be any time, just like any time in the game. If he feel he has a scramble in practice, he'll let his legs go to work and keep his eyes downfield, and we have to stay open.
How different is the scramble drill actually with him than with other quarterbacks that, because of his arm strength, you do not necessarily have to come back that much?
Yeah, I think a lot of guys will love it. Well, when you playing with other guys, you try to come back to the ball, but when you playing with Patrick, you know he got a deep arm, and some people have to go deep in there, and some people have to stay short. And it doesn't matter who's going deep, but if you see somebody going deep, another guy has to stay short. So you hope you're going deep.
You guys also have a lot of yards after the catch. How much is that actually on Patrick putting the ball in a location where you can have yards after catch and he hits you in stride?
Yeah, that's a big aspect of his game also. He definitely hits guys in stride, so we can keep our feet rolling, keep them in the same momentum, and I think he does a good job of that.
Thanks, appreciate it.
This was your second season in the NFL, playing in the AFC Championship games twice, and now you're preparing for the Super Bowl. That was your expectations after the college?
Say again?
That was your expectation after college?
Oh, absolutely. Going to my freshman year, I really didn't have no set goals. My only goals was get a starting position and get about 2-3 sacks, and I only got one of those. And then the next year, this year, honestly, this wasn't one of my goals. I wanted to keep my starting spot, get 3 sacks, only got one, and then make it to the Super Bowl. So hey, I'm 2 for 3.
Yeah, there were a lot of changes on the defensive side. What was the biggest difference comparing to last year?
Well, we have a new defensive coordinator that has a whole different scheme to the defense. Adding a couple pieces of Frank Clark, Tyrann Mathieu, to say a few. Having those guys around us is really, in my opinion, really helped our defense a lot tremendously. And as well as, of course, the new defensive line coach, which really helped us along the way.
What do you see, what is the biggest challenge against the 49ers offense?
Probably the running game. They got 3 speed demons back over there. That's the only probably thing that's going to stop us is really the running game, and we just got to knock it out.
So your main concern is the running game, and you think you can win the game if you stop the running game?
Most definitely.
But there's also Jimmy Garoppolo. How mobile he is? How difficult is to sack him?
I mean, with him, with the 49ers, everything's kind of routine. He's a 5-step drop. Everything is timed. So with him, he's getting rid of the ball quick. So when it comes to rushing the pass, you just got to be fast with it.
You had a slow start in both playoff games, trailing by 24 and 10 points. What is the reason? What do you think?
Honestly, I can't tell you the reason, but having seen that it's happened already, we just got to step it up. We're just being the biggest game of the year. We can't have a slow start. We got to be running and gunning as soon as the kickoff starts.
It's going to be a longer halftime than usual. How do you prepare for that?
I mean, personally, never been through that type of situation, but knowing me, you have that much time, you just have to take a lot more time to review while you're waiting, staying hydrated, getting something in your stomach, and just, at that time you just got to relax a little bit so you got more time.
But did you train for that in this week? Did you prepare for this week for the halftime show? I mean, the longer period?
I mean, they acknowledge us how long it's going to be. So, I mean, when I get to it, we'll probably be, like I said, we're going to probably be reviewing a lot longer. And since we'll be sitting for a while, we'll probably be drinking, get a lot of fluids up, staying hydrated and everything, and just relax until halftime's over.
What was your first Super Bowl memory as a kid?
Man, I have a lot of them. The first thing that comes to mind, it was Percy Harvin, a 100-yard kickoff return in the second half. That was it.
And which was your favorite team?
Oh man, they go kill me. Growing up, honestly,
I'm from Hungary. No one knows in the U.S.
Growing up, I was a Steelers fan. Right now, I'm really just a fan of whoever my friend's team is on. That's it. Like, if my friend's on the team, I root for that team. It's point blank.
And but you know that the Chiefs haven't played in the Super Bowl for 50 years.
Yeah, so getting this far, I know everybody. I know all the fans are ecstatic.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. Bye bye. So the big day is approaching. What are your feelings?
Just taking it day by day. Just focus on practice today. Just getting better. You know, we always talk about just being where our feet are and just taking care of the day that's ahead. So Sunday's close, but you know we got a couple days to worry about before that.
Would you like to play right now, or you need those days?
A little bit of both. Definitely excitement-wise, you definitely wish you could just go out there and play right now. But at the same time, just going through our normal routine, going through our normal schedule, and just knowing that we'll be fully prepared for Sunday.
Was the preparation very different?
No, same exact thing. Just a little bit more time.
And what about this all media hype?
Say it again?
What about this media hype? Is it much bigger?
I mean, end of the day, we're professionals. You know, that's what we got to do. You got there, you do it, and once you finish with it, you just lock in into our normal schedule and what we normally do.
What are you going to be your main focus before the game?
Say it again?
What will be your main focus before the game?
I mean, just going out there and just play a football game. You know, it's a championship, so you go out there, you do whatever you need to do, key in on your assignments, and just get ready to go out there, compete, and go home with a win.
Everybody's talking about the 49ers running game. Don't you think that they are going to pass more in the Super Bowl?
I mean, it just all depends on how the game goes. You know, every game situation calls for them to do different things. So they're gonna, you know, at this point it's a Super Bowl. Everybody's gonna do they're gonna be who they are. You're not gonna go out there and try to, you know, play outside of your element. But at the same time, every game is different. So just depending on how the game goes, you know, they'll adjust to how it goes.
It seems that your position has changed a little bit, playing more safety. How do you like that?
I mean, it's just what our defense needs. You know, especially with Juan going down. You know, Tyron, you know, once I went down, playing more nickel, kind of finding his groove. So it's just, you know, whatever the team needs. You know, we got so many versatile guys that can move around the field. So whatever we need to do to win a championship, that's what we're going to do.
Which receiver is their most dangerous weapon?
For us or for them? For them. I mean, they got a lot of different guys that can make plays. You see so many guys out there, even with Kittle, the backside of the backfield and their screen game. It's tough to say one because all of them can do different things. All of them can. One thing that all of them do real well is just once they get the ball in their hands, they can make plays. So collectively as a defense, we're gonna have to make sure we all come together to try to limit the yards after the catch.
You have three brothers playing in the NFL. What are they saying about the Super Bowl?
Just lock in and focus. You know, and that's something our team has been talking about. Just knowing that after this 1 week, you know, we can go season's over after this. So, you know, to lock in, put everything else aside, and just go focus on winning one game.
Your brothers will be here in the Super Bowl?
Yes, sir.
So they are coming to cheer for you?
Oh yeah, they'll be here. We'll get the whole fam out here.
What would be your biggest moment if you would win the Super Bowl?
Say that again?
That would be your biggest moment if you would win the Super Bowl?
Oh yeah, it'll be special. It'll be special just with this group of guys. You know, just going out there playing at the highest stage and having fun playing football. You know, definitely something that we've been dreaming of doing since we were little kids.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate you.
What was this week like for you? Was it possible to actually forget that there's an actual game on Sunday, or did you always have that on your mind?
It's always on my mind. I can't speak for everyone, but I'm sure it is for a lot of guys. I always tell everyone we always can come back to Miami and sightsee. We're here for one reason, and that's to win the game.
The 49ers gained the most yards after the catch. How important will tackling be, and how difficult is it to focus on the fundamentals for 20 straight weeks?
Yeah, you got to. That's the part of being a professional. You got to focus on the details. We got to tackle, like you said, yards after catch. They're up there. I think tennis up to Chiefs to Titans, and the 49ers are like the top 3. And so we just played the Titans. So now we got another task at hand. So when they catch it, we just got to make sure we get them down. I mean, they're good players. They're going to catch the ball, but we just got to make sure they get down as soon as they catch it.
So everyone was talking about stopping the run for the 49ers, but they're also very good when it comes to play action. How do you find the balance between the two, that run to the ball but also keep an eye on routes?
Yeah, for us playing linebacker, our main goal is stopping the run. You react to the pass, but our main goal is to stop the run and use our athletic ability to plant our foot in the ground and get out.
The 49ers use the most motion and pre-snap shifts. What sort of challenge does that present you in the middle of the field?
I mean, the only thing that challenged me is getting lined up. All that motion and stuff is BS. I just want to see the final picture. I close the front. Once I get the final picture, then we can play ball. Whatever they start in, they're not going to end in. They're 90% of motion on all run plays and like 78% on all plays in general. So just knowing that, when I close the front, I'm expecting to either move my front or get my backers right.
You mentioned seeing the final picture, but what if there is like a motion during the snap?
Yeah, it's the same. It's where they're getting to. They're showing us pro formation and jet. The guy, as he's jetting, once a guy moves, we have to move. That's how a 4-3 works. This is how it works. You know, you gotta fit the final formation.
You've had some slow starts so far in the postseason. How do you avoid doing that this Sunday?
Yeah, we preaching they just get off to a good start, man. We just gotta hone in on the details. All of our slow starts came from beating ourselves. Like, we're not getting outplayed or anything like that. We're literally just not doing our job. You know, I'm not sure if it's the playoffs, get the jitterbugs out or what, but we beat ourselves. So all we're doing now is just honing in on the details.
Thanks, I appreciate it. Good luck.
Hungry, all right. Yeah. A lot of European press here.
Yes. Everybody's, you know, looking for a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Eric, you've been a #1 draft pick. You went through a lot in Kansas City. What are your feelings before the Super Bowl?
I'm very excited. It's a game that we've been working really hard to get to, and here we are. Obviously, the biggest game of our lives, and I'm just very excited to go out there and do my job for this team, and hopefully bring back a championship to Kansas City.
What does it mean to the city if you are saying this?
It means everything to the city. They've been waiting 50 years for us to come back to this game, and here we are. You know, so we're just going to do everything we can do to win this thing for them, because I know they're really itching for a Super Bowl.
Did you feel the excitement in these 2 seasons? You know, the AFC Championship game and now the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I've been fortunate to be in the playoffs 6 of the last 7 years, and you know, but this was always the ultimate goal, and we finally got here. But our goal's not finished. Our goal is to win the Super Bowl.
How is your play different because of a very mobile quarterback, Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah, you just got to adjust to your surroundings. You know, I've played for 2 quarterbacks now in the NFL, and they're very different style quarterbacks. But it's exciting to see Pat on the move when he gets out of the pocket, because that's what he seems to like to do, and he makes some big plays when he does that.
But how do you know that you have to look all around, and sometimes probably you don't know where's your quarterback?
Yeah, you find him and you do your job. You just got to adjust on the run sometimes with him, and you know, in the end, just do the best you can do with what he's doing back there.
What did you see, for example, about those 27-yard running touchdown against the Titans? Did you think that it's going to be a touchdown or just a short run?
Yeah, I definitely didn't think it was going to be a touchdown, but then I saw him make that cut, and the rest is history. It was pretty cool to see him do that. But you know, hopefully he'll be doing that again this week.
You had a bad start both of those playoff games. What is the reason, and how can you solve this problem on Sunday?
I'm not really sure what the reason is, but hopefully just go out there and start faster. I don't know if there's a specific reason. Sometimes just bad luck happens or bad things happen. I don't know, but hopefully we get off to a better start than we have the last two.
It's always tricky in the Super Bowl that the halftime show is very long, so you have to start all over again in the second half.
Yeah, something that that has been brought to our attention. Something that we'll just go out there and handle like we should as professionals. It'll be interesting, but I think we're prepared for it.
What would it mean to you personally to win the Super Bowl?
This is every kid's dream, and here we are living out our dreams. So to get a ring would be amazing. Also to win Coach Reed a Super Bowl, I think would be even more amazing because he's worked very hard, been in this thing for a long time, and I hope to see a ring on his finger one day.
Do you think any of the players would have to pay for the dinner in the city if you win the Super Bowl?
Who knows? I think if we bring home a Super Bowl, there's going to be a lot of people wanting to help us out.
Thank you very much, Eric. Thank you. Hi, Chris. We came from Hungary. Just two questions because I know you have to leave. What are your feelings before the big game?
Pissed off and composed, man. Pissed off and composed. I'm ready to step on that damn field and do what I do.
And that's to sack.
2 sacks, 4 sacks, 5 sacks, how many it is. Well, that's just to be a dominant player.
Yeah, the 49ers have a great running game, but they can also pass. What do you think? They are going to pass more in this game?
I don't know, man. That's to be determined. They probably got a heck of a game plan organized, so we'll see where it goes.
Okay, thank you very much.
As a primarily zone defense, what are the challenges when Mahomes leaves the pocket and it comes to scramble drill and somewhat transitioning to a man coverage?
It's just about finding the guy in your zone and plastering and being disciplined and knowing the rules. There are different rules when the quarterback's out of the pocket. You can be more physical with the receivers. So just understanding that and being aware of it in the moment.
Given the young talent you guys have.
Sport TV Hungary from Budapest.
Oh, yeah.
Again, so see you in what, a month or something like that again?
Yeah, well, I hope so.
So does your experience of having been through all this already once help you at all? And do you ever talk to Kyle about that game?
Yeah, I think it definitely helps going through having previous experience. And we got a few guys like that, like Joe Staley's been to another Super Bowl before, Richard Sherman, a lot of guys like that. So I think it does help. You can talk to the other guys around the team and kind of help them out and talk to them and just tell them it's like any other game that's high pressure.
And what does Kyle Shanahan mean to you, and how big of a role did he play when you chose the 49ers?
He was one of the main reasons I wanted to come here and just be able to play for him again. Like I love being able to play for him whenever I was in Atlanta. He was an absolute genius. Like some of his run meetings were some of my favorite. It just seemed so intellectual and so smart, and the way he understood the game. And so I was really excited to have a chance to play for him again.
How much does the outside zone scheme help you to provide a clean pocket for Jimmy when you run play action?
I think it's huge, and it definitely makes it easier when you run play pass versus just straight drop back. I mean, you can really get the defense on their toes, keep them guessing, and I think the more they guess, the more you can change it up on them. The more you change it up on, the harder it gets for them.
Thanks, appreciate it. Good luck. And then, how difficult was it to pick up the offense midway through the season, and did it help that you already played with Wes Welker before?
I think it was pretty easy to be able to pick up the offense because, the quarterback's coach that was here last year was the offensive coordinator in Denver. So the transition was pretty smooth. When I first got here, obviously the concepts and a lot of the wording was the same. So it was easier transition than most.
What's your biggest takeaway from working with Kyle Shanahan this season?
He's smart, man. Not too many times that I've seen Kyle be behind the defensive coordinator. He's usually ahead of them in terms of plays and knowing what they're doing and knowing what their next move is. And I've really been enjoying spending time, with him, and really just seeing, how his mind works because he's very smart. He's one of the smartest coaches I've been around.
Do you think that with the success you had in the running game, people are underestimating Jimmy and your passing game?
I don't care what people say. People are going to say what they want, but you go and look at the film, we've thrown for over 300 yards, and we've had field day on defenses who want to load the box when they stop our run. So it doesn't matter what they say. Obviously they got to find something to talk about, and that's the easy thing to talk about because we rushed for over 250 yards last week, and that's not saying that we did that because we couldn't throw it. It was just one of those situations where, why throw it when we can run the ball? So, in the Super Bowl, if we got to open up the passing game, that's what we're going to do.
You don't really see players playing 17 straight weeks in the regular season. What was that like for you?
It was definitely hard on my body, but at the same time, when I look back on it, all of it was worth it. Here I am in a Super Bowl. I battled through a lot of injuries, a lot of ups and downs, but I wouldn't change anything.
Thanks, I appreciate it. Good luck. You to get cut in August, and now you're to get cut. I saw some roster projection. Yeah, in August, and now you're going to start in the Super Bowl. Can you talk a little bit about the journey?
Oh, well, I know some people had me getting cut out of camp and things like that, but I don't really look at things like that. I just kind of keep my head forward and keep going, and what's going to happen is going to happen, and I trust in myself, and then we're here.
Do you know actually how many positions you played during the season? I have a number here, including special teams. It's a lot.
Probably
like
a lot.
It differentiates between like left outside vice, right outside vice, inside, so everything.
Maybe 15?
I have 34.
34, wow.
Do you want to see them actually?
Yeah, I do. I want to see it.
1 second and I'll have it up for you. Just give me a second. Yeah, I believe this is it. So right outside linebacker, right inside linebacker, left linebacker, right linebacker, left cornerback, right cornerback, slot. Then the kickoff coverage and all that.
Wow, yeah. You guys really keep track of that. Wow, that's nice.
Yeah. What was that experience like, and what are the challenges of lining up all over the field?
Most positions. Oh, it's not really a big challenge, because you practice it and practice all week, so you get comfortable with it, and then you just got to go out there and perform.
You were in high school when Richard Sherman played in his first Super Bowl. What's it like playing with him, and what have you learned from him?
It's amazing playing with him. He's just so smart with the game. He tell you what to expect and things like that. So when you see it on the field, it's kind of like, wow, bro, he really is a genius. So he's been very helpful throughout my career.
There were multiple games where you did not start on defense but ended up playing a big role. What are the challenges of preparing for a game the same way every single week, even though you don't know whether you're going to play a lot or not?
Yeah, it's not really a challenge because you want to prepare like a starter every game.
Yep.
So if you prepare like a starter every game, when your number is called, you'll be ready.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. Good luck. Testicles this time, I promise you. Statistically speaking, you've had better seasons, but you're playing in a Super Bowl. How do you evaluate that trade-off? How do you evaluate the trade-off between having individual numbers versus playing in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I mean, I'd never really care about individual numbers. Like you said, to be here with this opportunity and the success we've had as a team has definitely always been number one.
What did you learn from already playing in a Super Bowl, and how can that help you this weekend?
Yeah, I think just kind of already been through the process and kind of these festivities and stuff like that. Just kind of having a little bit of knowledge as far as what to expect, and then like I said, just being able to play on that stage, it's hard to describe, just the adrenaline and emotions that you have, when it comes to game time, and to just have that experience, I think I'll be definitely a little more, relaxed and calm, and just kind of be able to get back to football, which is, what it always comes down to.
Were you really nervous the first time then?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say nervous, but just
looking back,
so excited, and just, like I said, obviously it's, the biggest stage football-wise that, that you can get to. So, I mean, yeah, there's nothing that can really replicate that and get you ready for that. So, like I said, I think just kind of being second time around, obviously it's still going to have a lot of adrenaline and a lot of emotions, but just kind of knowing what to expect. And I was even telling some of the tight ends, like, yeah, like, I mean, in warm-ups, you're going to be feeling the best you felt in warm-ups. You're going to be flying around and feeling great, and you're just feeding off all the energy that's in the stadium. And so for me, I was just kind of telling them, hey, like, stay relaxed, stay in your routine, don't burn out too much energy warming up, and just kind of being mindful of that.
What does Kyle Shanahan mean to you, and how big of a role did he play in you coming here?
Oh, a lot. I mean, my experience with him in Atlanta, I always loved him as a coach, and as a player, as a human being, a person outside of football, and then as a coach, he's definitely been one of my favorite coaches to play for. Not just because of who he is, but like scheme-wise, I love the way he sees the game and he breaks it down, and just the way he's able to coach it and teach it to us as players. That's always been something that I've definitely enjoyed. And then, like you said, for me to have an opportunity to come back here and reconnect with him and some of the other guys on the staff was definitely something that I was excited for.
Thanks, I appreciate it. Good luck.
Yeah, thank you.
I know.
How are you?
Hungary?
Hungary. Yes.
Hungary, okay.
Yeah, it's Eastern Europe, middle of the Europe.
Gotcha.
Yeah. This was your second year. It was your first year in the NFL. How was your expectations before you joined the league, and how did you enjoy playing in the NFL?
Just coming into the league originally, I knew it would be hard. I knew that I would face challenges. I knew I would have to earn my spot and and battle for my respect. And I feel like I did that for the most part throughout the year. And man, I'm just I'm having fun with the group of guys that I play with, and I enjoy the coaches, and they push us hard and they make us work hard, and as a competitor, I go out there and I just compete every day, just to help my team win. So I mean, it's been a crazy year, man, and I never thought that I'd be here, but I'm just thankful, man, to be in this position.
Who is your favorite teammate?
My favorite teammate?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really have a favorite teammate. I mean, I got it. It's just, it's a lot of guys on the team that I consider, my brothers. I consider everybody on the team my brothers, but I mean, Aziz, Fred, Quan, really the whole linebacker group, man. We just got a really strong bond and chemistry with each other, and we understand each other and respect each other. So, I know that, if we're going out to play a football game, we're going out to war, I know they're going to have my back. So, I kind of, got respect for all of them.
Robert Saleh was probably the best assistant coach in the NFL this season. What have you learned from him?
I mean, really the whole defense, but I mean, just the fact that he's a cool, calm, collected guy, and I mean, he loves the game of football. And
collected and calm. During games?
Not necessarily during games, but just his demeanor and how he go about things. I mean, he's. But at the same time, I mean, he's eager to win, and he's eager to teach at the same time. And anytime you got great coaches that love to teach, man, it just gets you more engaged and help you understand the game better. So from him, I just other than the X's and O's, just to have love and respect for the game.
You had one of the most important tackles in the regular season. The last game, Jacob Hollister, I guess you talked about it a lot. How do you remember that play?
I just, remember reading the quarterback eyes and just having my feet on the goal line and not getting past not getting in the end zone. And he had his eyes on him the whole time. And, as an instinctive football player, just coming down and just making a tackle that, my teammates and coaches would be proud of, and that would, essentially take us to the NFC.
Do you realize that probably the whole playoff is going to be played differently if you're not tackling Hollister?
Oh, definitely. I mean, I definitely understand that we're playing the first week, and it definitely causes in a way. I don't think it determines, whether we're here or not, but I think it makes a difference as far as how we feel and how our body feels, and which helps, and which just gives us confidence and gives a lot of guys back to come be ready to play.
LeSean McCoy hasn't played in the last 4 games in the Chiefs. Do you think he's going to play in the Super Bowl, a big role?
Oh, definitely, yeah. They'll have him out there for sure. Yeah.
And who's their most famous weapon, or the most important weapon of the Chiefs?
Definitely the quarterback. Patrick. I mean, he's the one that makes everybody go. I mean, he can throw the ball from every angle. He can run. So he's definitely the guy that makes them go.
Thank you, Dre. Good luck. Thank you. Hi, Jaquiski. My name is Richard. How are you doing? Coach Shanahan just talked about you as one of the biggest leaders of the team. How do you feel when you hear from the coach this?
I mean, it's a great feeling hearing from the coaches. You know, that's like for them to believe in you. Even sometimes, you know, you kind of, especially for me, like it's been times I've been hurt, just worrying about, man, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, just hearing that, it's a wonderful feeling.
Why do you think he said that? So, what is your feeling about this?
It's all love. I mean, it's a lot of love in the building, and just like at the end of the day, it's everybody a leader on the team. So we all leading our way, and it just really feeling appreciated.
It's going to be a big task ahead of you on Sunday. Which is harder, to prepare for Patrick Mahomes or to prepare for the wide receivers?
I mean, they're a great offense, but at the same time, we have to worry about ourselves and just do our job and stay on our details and just play together.
So it doesn't mean who are you playing to?
It never really mattered who we played, but I mean, for sure we respect the Kansas City Chiefs. Great offense. Mahomes, he can sling the ball everywhere on the field. And at the end of the day, if we just take care of our house and focus on us, I think we can play well.
What have you learned from Richard Sherman? Because I think that his experience gave you a lot.
I learned so much from him. I mean, just the way he studied the game and know the game. Like he know what routes he's getting, and he always just a step ahead. And that's one of the things I took from him. Just always trying to be a step ahead in the game.
Thank you very much.
What's the weirdest question you've done?
Hi, Quan.
How you doing, man?
How are you?
Legendary, man.
Legendary. What does it mean?
So what now?
What does it mean, legendary?
Legendary. I'm amazing, man. I feel legendary. I wake up legendary. I go to practice being legendary. You know, that's just my life, man. That's what I live by.
That's your favorite word?
My favorite word. I use it probably 1,000 times a day. For sure. Probably 100 times.
So how are you? That's the main question.
I'm legendary. For real. I'm legendary. Dead serious.
What did you feel emotionally? I don't mean physically. When you hurt your pectoral.
Mostly I felt I was sad because I couldn't be out there for my team, man, for my teammates. But then I couldn't be sad no more. It's time now, like, you got to get it back, bro. It's time to get to it, try to get back. And that's what I did. I came back for my team, and we're ready to rock now.
Yeah, but it's not normal that after 2 months you're ready to play.
Right. Yeah, it's not normal, but this guy, man, I put that on God. Without him, it wouldn't be possible. And I just put my faith in him. And I was grinding, kept working and working and working, and now I'm here.
Are you still hurting? I mean, physically?
No, I'm not hurt.
You have no limitations?
No, I'm ready to go.
Ready to go. Would you like to play right now?
I would like to play right now. I'm ready, man. I'm ready. It's a big moment, man. I've been waiting my whole life for this moment. I work my butt off for this moment, man. I just can't wait to get out there and get going.
How do you visualize the last 2 days and maybe the last 5 moments before the game?
How do I visualize the last 2 days?
Yeah.
The last 2 days have been amazing, man. It's been amazing. Kind of happy with the media, you know what I'm saying? I'm glad it's probably over today, we're going to go out and we can get straight to it, get ready. Once we know it's over right now, I know it's getting close to game time. So I'm ready just to get started, man, with my team, go out there and get the dub.
Do you know what are you going to feel when you hear the national anthem before the game?
I feel like I'm going to feel like every other game, man. I'll be hyped up every game, man. Once there's an opportunity out there to play football, I'm hyped up for it. I'm going to go out there and play 110% for my team, give them my all, and we're going to get this job done.
Who is the Chiefs' most dangerous weapon? Patrick Mahomes or the wide receivers or the running backs?
I think Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill probably they dangerous. They two nice combos, but we got a whole level of defense, and that's going to ride and eat, and we're going to be ready for it.
A lot of talk is going on about your defensive line and the secondary. What about the linebackers?
What's the talk about it? I feel like the whole defense, the whole 11, man, we some ballers, and we're going to go out there, play together, have fun, enjoy the moment, man. Y'all see. We don't do a lot of talking. We just go out there and show it, and you'll see on Sunday.
What did Robert Saleh give to this defense?
Everything. He give everything. Energy, passion, love. You know, he do a lot for this defense. He put us in the right spot, and we're going to execute for him, and we're going to do that on Sunday for him too.
Dre Greenlow said that the coach is calm and demeanored, and when we are watching a game, he's energetic and you know, like he's running into the field. So how is he exactly?
Yeah,
all of them.
Yeah, he all of them. You know, especially during the game, he lit. Like he lit. We all lit during the game. I mean, and I love seeing that as a coach. You know, players want to see a coach passionate about the game, because you don't see it in how we supposed to feel. You know what I'm saying? But we see him jumping up and down, so we be hyped too. And it only just be him; it be all the coaches. You know, and we love that, and we love the energy, and that's what we bring. And we're gonna bring that on Sunday.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
Have a great game.